Yo guys, welcome back to another video. Today we're in central of the city and we're shooting some long exposures with Vince the man. Stick around and let's see what kind of shots we can get. First location. We are at the White House of our country. The White House. White House of our country. And we're gonna that's not gonna work. Aswahil, This is our first location right here. This is called Presidential Palace. Yeah, kind of a weird name, but that's how we call it here. We are doing, for this video, we are only shooting long exposures. So basically what a long exposure is, it's just basically when you see those light trails. Have you guys ever seen those light trails of cars? Like just lines going through the whole frame. That's basically what we are shooting today. We're only shooting long exposures. Yeah, in order for you to do this, there's a couple of things you need to consider. Right, the first thing you need is a camera of some sort. You can also use a phone. There's basically a mode on your iPhone called live mode, and you can change when you take the picture. There's like 3 seconds or so of frame or video that you can change the mode into long exposure. So then you basically get a long exposure from your iPhone. So for this shot, we are waiting for cars. They're coming from this side over here to get into the shot. To get into the shot, and you can take a long exposure of that. My idea for this photo, we're just gonna get a clean shot of the building, and then I'm going to put all of the layers or the photos that I've taken. I'm going to stack them up in Lightroom to put the camera on continuous, right? Yeah, but we don't have the patience to wait that long, so when you press the shutter, just remove your hand and you'll be fine. That wraps it up for this location over here. We're now headed to the second one. Right, another thing you need to take long exposure photos is some sort of tripod. Because the shutter is open for a longer period of time, it's more highly that you would get a blurred image. So that's why we put our cameras on a tripod to hold it steady. Location number 2 is the bank. I'm currently shooting the bank's logo, or I don't know how to call this thing. So we're at the spot right now, and the street is completely dead. And Vince is trying to end a long expo. Vince is trying to get the cars that are going from the left side to the right side with his 70 to 200. What's the shutter speed, Vince? 6 seconds and f25 ISO 100. And that was it for this shoot. Me and Vince were busy for about 3 hours. We started at 6, I think. And we needed to wait for it to get dark so we could get started on those long exposure shots. Before we get into the photos, let me just explain, because I realized that I didn't explain exactly what a long exposure is. So you see this thing here on the inside? You can see a reflection. that's the mirror or the shutter. So basically what a long exposure is, usually you would shoot at say 1/100 of a second, because that's like the middle hand where you not get a motion blur. Anything under 1/100 or 1/125 below, that is considered, or I consider it as a long exposure, because you get motion blur. So normally you would have this. See how the shutter is going up and down real quick? That's how you capture images with fast motion. Now for long exposure is the exact opposite. For long exposure, your shutter goes like this. See how slow that is? That means there's a lot more light coming into the camera, and the camera needs to be stable. That's why we use a tripod. So now you know what long exposure is. Let's have a look at the photos. So for the first photo, I took this photo of the Presidential Palace. I had my camera up on a tripod so I can get that nice steady shot. What I noticed is that the cars weren't passing by quick enough for one long exposure, so I decided to take a couple and then stack them up in Photoshop to get the look I wanted. Now for the second shot, this was kind of a random shot, but I thought it would be nice to shoot the bank's logo, and this is how it turned out. I'm pretty happy with the end results of both photos. So guys, that was it for the video. If you learned something or if you liked the video, drop a comment down below. Don't forget to hit that like and subscribe button, and I'll catch you guys in the next video.